Samsung Galaxy S4 camera review. The Samsung Galaxy S4 is the successor to the hugely successful Galaxy S3 and as such the latest model in the Korean manufacturer's Galaxy S line of flagship smartphones. The Galaxy S3 did well in our review from October 2012 and was one of the first Android-powered smartphones that could establish itself as a valid rival to Apple's iPhone both in terms of sales figures and consumer appeal. So expectations were high among industry insiders and consumers alike when the S4 was launched in April, and Samsung did not disappoint. The Galaxy S4's design is very similar to its predecessor, but under the hood the new model comes with the latest hardware and software technologies. Like many high-end devices this year, the S4's camera features a 13MP backside illuminated CMOS sensor and a 1080p 5-inch screen. Depending on region, the phone is powered by a 1.9 GHz Qualcomm quad-core chip and the latest Android version 4.2.2 Jelly Bean. From a mobile photographer's point of view, the most interesting novelties can be found within the camera app. The S4 comes with a number of new imaging features and modes that demonstrate that, in some situations, smartphones can be better imaging tools than traditional compact cameras. Dual shot allows for image-in-image effects by capturing still images and video with the front and rear cameras at the same time. Drama mode creates composite action images and eraser mode deletes unwanted subjects from the frame. Of course, all the usual software assistants such as Samsung's Beauty Face mode, HDR and Panorama are still on board. The latter now captures impressively large panoramas pictures that are approximately 22,000 pixels wide, a massive improvement from the S3's 6,000 pixel width. We had a close look at all the new imaging features, the S4's image quality and the camera operation on the following pages. Read on to find out how the latest Samsung flagship smartphone did in our tests. Key photographic, video specifications. 1. 13-megapixel backside illuminated sensor. 2. f2.2 lens. 3. 31mm equivalent focal length. 4. ISO 51800, 800 manually selectable. 5. Image aspect ratio 4:3. 6. 2-megapixel front camera. 7. LED flash. 8. 1080p 30fps video recording. 9. Dual image capture. 10. Various filter and special modes. 11. Digital image stabilization. 12. 4x digital zoom. Other specifications. 1. 1.9 GHz quad-core processor, 1.6 GHz octa-core processor, depending on region. 2. Android 4.2.2. 3. 5-inch 1080p, 441p Super AMOLED screen. 4. 7.9mm thin. 5. 2 GB RAM. 6. 16/32 GB storage versions. Micro SD card support up to 64 GB. 7. 130G 4G LTE 100 mbps down, 50 mbps up. 8. Barometer, temperature and humidity sensors. 9. Ear transmitter. 10. 2600 mAh battery. Removable. Design and hardware. With its 13MP sensor, the Galaxy S4 is in line with many manufacturers' 2013 high-end models, such as the Sony Xperia Z, the ZTE Grand S, Huawei Ascend D2 and Lenovo K900. The HTC One and its 4 ultra-pixel sensor is the notable exception to this trend toward double-digit pixel counts on smartphones. While many users will only ever display and view their images at web resolution, these new sensors are capable of capturing more detail in good light and allow for tighter cropping than lower resolution chips. The S4's f2.2 lens is not quite as fast as the HTC One's or Nokia Lumia 925's f2.0 variants, but it's close enough to render the difference as good as unnoticeable in real-life shooting. The lack of optical image stabilization is arguably more relevant and means slow shutter speeds in low light will more often result in blurry images. The S4 comes with digital image stabilization, but all it does is keep the shutter speed at a 1/30th second minimum by increasing the ISO, so you end up with more noise and noise reduction artifacts in your images. The actual focal length is 4 mm, which equates to 31mm in 35mm terms. This is in line with most of the competition, which gravitates toward wide-angle designs. It's great when shooting landscapes and interiors, but doesn't really allow for flattering portraits. At a quick glance, the new model looks almost identical to its predecessor, the S3. Unlike the S3, the S4's edges are not tapered, which makes the newer version of the smartphone easier and more comfortable to hold without a case. The phone's screen is covered by Corning's scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass, and metal band runs around the edges. Like its predecessor, the S4 comes with a plastic back, but nevertheless the device feels like a solid premium device. Design quality is of course a matter of taste, but it's probably fair to say that Samsung's designers haven't been too adventurous with the S4. The iPhone 5 and HTC One with their slick metal bodies and edgier lines are arguably ahead of Samsung in the design department. Like most Android phones, the Galaxy S4 makes do with only very few buttons. The home button is the only physical button on the front of the device and is placed between the capacitive menu and back buttons. The only other controls are the power button on the right and the volume rocker on the left side of the device. The S4's front is dominated by the 5-inch Full HD AMOLED display. Screen size and pixel density are in line with other 2013 high-end phones such as the Sony Xperia Z or ZTE Grand S. However, the HTC One, arguably the Samsung's currently greatest rival in the Android world, crams the same number of pixels in a slightly smaller area, making its screen even more pixel-dense. The S4's screen is amazingly sharp with vivid colors, which makes it great for viewing photographs and videos alike. It can be difficult to see in bright sunshine, but that's a flaw it has in common with almost all other smartphones in the market. The camera and flash are center-aligned at the top of the device. This means your fingers are less likely to intrude on a shot when compared to phones that tuck the camera right up into the corner. There is no dedicated shutter button, but the shutter or video buttons can be assigned to the zoom rocker. By default, those control the digital zoom. The final word. The Samsung Galaxy S4 is an excellent Android device with imaging capabilities to match. The camera's image quality is among the best we've seen so far on mobile devices, and the comprehensive camera feature set means you won't run out of new functions to try anytime soon. The lack of an optical image stabilization system means you are risking some camera shake in very low light, and the camera movements in your handheld videos won't be quite as smooth as on the HTC One or Nokia Lumia 920, but otherwise the Samsung Galaxy S4 is an easy recommendation for any photo-centric Android user.